was it in the 1980s that the first code breakers got going then, or was that later?
That was later. What happened was individual researchers used the code for their own private research. So there were a lot of people decoding bits all for themselves. So Helena Whitbread was the obvious main writer about the diaries, but there were various other people who could look at the diaries as well and do their own decoding of it. What I was involved in was something that happened much later, which was when Sally Wainwright was basically giving a grant to the West Yorkshire Archive Service to completely digitalise the diaries. And so what they were going to do for that was to actually break the bindings of all of the journals so that every page could be laid exactly flat, so they could take really good quality digital photographs of every single page of 27 volumes of diaries. And then those pictures could be used, sent out, those photos could be sent out to transcribers all around the world to properly, well, they called it code breaking, but the code was, broken a long time ago, but actually to transcribe all of the diaries in a particular format in an authorized way, so that now the whole diaries can be seen online all over the world.
So Sally Wainwright was involved even then.
Yes, this was only in 2018, 2019 that this was done.
Right.
That the whole project was started. And obviously they had to start with the breaking of the bindings of the journals, and then they have all been rebound in exactly the same kind of format with new leather and new marbled frontispiece and everything. So they're all beautifully rebound again. But so that all had to be done, was all of the photographing of the photographing of the whole journal had to be done before the transcribers came into it.
So do you think if Sally Wainwright was involved back then, that the idea of it becoming a television series or a drama in some way had already been in her mind that long?
The drama was already made. The drama
Oh,
was
right.
the drama was done. It was coming out. I think it came out in 2019, so it had already been. The first series had already been shot, um, and I came involved in it because I was in a relationship with Carly Elliott, who was living in Leeds, and I was coming down because I live in the Hebrides. I was coming down to Leeds. I already knew about Anne Lister. I'd known about her since the 1990s and had been to Shibden. And I saw that there was a talk at the West Yorkshire Archives, which is based in Halifax, about the diaries. And I said to Carly, let's go along. Sounds really interesting. And it was actually at that talk that they talked about this new project, and they were looking for transcribers to sign up, but it wasn't quite yet, but it was going to be in a few months' time. So that was the 1st of May 2019. And then we joined the project. Now, of course, by an incredible coincidence, it was the time of lockdown. So it was the end of 2019, and 2020 was when all of the pages were being sent out. So actually, everybody had lots of time to work on the diaries, and they got through it a lot quicker than I think they thought they were going to. So when you actually signed up, they would send you a test page to see if you were going to be good enough to do this. And our page that we were sent was actually from 1823, and it involved quite a dramatic day in Anne Lister's life, where she'd gone over to York to stay with Mariana, who was already married, and they'd been in a relationship, on and off relationship, for a long time. And they were staying together, and they had a row. And in the row, Anne Lister talks about the reasons for Mariana's marriage, which we'll have a quote about from the diary. So it's like jumping into this whirlwind of her life. Anyway, we seem to pass it, although it's really, really difficult. It's not really so much the code, although the code itself, you have to kind of get used to the fact that there is no spaces between words, no punctuation. You don't know where you are. You've just got to kind of put it all together and then work it out. But the plain hand is the shorthand that she uses is incredibly difficult to decipher. And in a way, I don't know that we really got a grip on it till we'd done a few pages ourselves. But of course, what we all do is we join these forums, don't we? And so that we're all in these little forums taking photographs of our own particular pages, saying, I have no idea what she means by this. Anybody know? So you would get all the hive mind of all the transcribers saying, oh, I think it's this. And then somebody else would say, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's this. The other thing is that she shortens everybody's names. So the common ones you get to know quite easily, but she will just sort of suddenly drop in, went to see EM, and you're